Somebody made that.
Yeah, a machine.
Yeah. And someone made that machine.
And the machine has a home, therefore it's homemade.
Does the machine like go home after like clocks out and goes home?
Hello and welcome to Good Enough. I am Sam, joined as always by Robbie,
Yo.
Matt,
Hello there.
and also Bear, apparently.
Yeah. As always.
As always, always got to put
We
his
really
2
should
cents
just
in.
let him get on the show.
Yeah, give him a mic. Oh, God, can you imagine? Hey, Bear.
I
You can hear him from there.
I think him and Robbie might get in a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could call one-sided smashing a fight. Because I will not hold back.
One-sided smash is my favorite.
Okay, so if the purge happened,
Bear is my one and only target.
Oh, that's sad.
what would you do?
Don't.
What would I do? I'd kill him.
God.
I'd punt him out a window.
Out the window?
I mean, I'm hoping like the glass will do some damage. But I don't know. You really want me to
So
talk about this now?
you'll do that before Sam puts his blast shield doors down for the purge?
Yeah.
Does anyone...
Or I'll leave Bear in the window for the blast shield.
Oh no!
All right, this is getting violent. You're talking about my dog, and I
Yeah, but he's rude.
yeah, he's rude.
Always.
But I love him.
Yeah, but
what
I've
would you
known
do?
him. I've known him for a very long time, and he's treated
Yeah,
me the same way.
that is true.
Every
Like,
time.
Treated you.
Like, we have known each other for a long time.
He was at he was
welcomed-
at our wedding.
We welcomed him into your home when you brought him in. We'd already loved Buddy, and then you brought him home.
Alrighty.
What would you do in the purge, Sam?
Hide like a coward.
I feel
Sam
like you'd
would,
be crazy. Like you
No.
go on a murdering rampage.
Crazy like Dig Dug, and he would just fucking tunnel his way to the center of the earth.
The purge happens, and I just like activate my super strength. Is there anyone who lives in the purge universe who like doesn't have those like steel emergency shutters?
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
poor people.
Oh, is
They
that
covered that in the second movie.
Oh, I haven't seen any of these.
It's a
movies.
very political series, Sam.
Well,
The
I
first
mean,
movie,
they
all the rich
they
people have the doors.
If you couldn't tell by the premise of the rich making a day for the poor to all kill each other.
And then the second movie is all about the poor trying to survive, the rich people coming in to kill them.
And then America, right? Then America happened. When did the first Purge come out?
The movie or
Yeah,
the
yeah.
event, The Purge?
Well, the first.
Because right now there's a miniseries about the first purge on, I think, TBS or USA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, the first movie. I mean,
It's probably been
I don't know,
7 or 8 years ago.
500 years ago?
why don't you have that? Why don't you have that number just like ready to go, Matt?
I do love that movie. Like that's a movie that my dad and I, every time a movie comes out, my dad and I go see it. I don't know why that's like our.
Me and my dad had a similar tradition. It was with Adam Sandler movies. You guys are freaks.
I know
Well, we watched the first one. We were both home on a day and we watched it and we liked it. And then every time one came out, we always go and watch it.
it's really like my dad likes those like historical documentary like biopics, like Lincoln and stuff. And I would never be able to get him to watch The Purge.
My dad either. If it's not a Western that he saw when he was like growing up, he has no fucking like couldn't care less.
My dad every time I go to my parents' house, my dad is watching some like old black and white movie, and which is fine, but it's just like remarkable how like that's his choice of entertainment. And then like I always ask him, "Oh, what movie is this?" His answer is always the same. Oh, some old movie.
Yeah, my dad has seen. Okay, this is even better. Every time I go to my parents' house, my dad is watching the same show, the same episode, with the same fucking act. Like, it's all the same. It's all Westerns. It's all Gunsmoke. Mm-hmm. It's all Gunsmoke. And what's the one with the Ponderosa? Bonanza. Yeah, so it's that Gunsmoke,
Bonanza.
I already forgot. Some about Marshall Dillon. I can't remember the name of that show.
Called Bonanza. God damn.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they're not terrible.
Well, right.
I love Bonanza.
But I mean, literally every day for my entire life, you've been watching these, and you're like, oh, I'll wait for whatever. Daredevil. My dad loves Daredevil.
Getting my parents
Will not watch Daredevil.
getting my parents to watch any of the great television on Netflix, it's like pulling teeth.
Oh, my mom.
I'm like, Dad, there's a bunch of westerns you could watch on Netflix or Hulu, and he's like,
No, my mom was like, the original stuff on Netflix is trash. All of it. Unless it's about some like gay adolescent coming to terms with herself and stuff. My mom could give two F's about. If it's not that or like murders, like crime stuff, my mom could not care less.
My parents watch a lot of new stuff. Like my dad watched Breaking Bad in like 2 weeks.
Oh.
The entire series. Jesus.
I mean, my mom okay, so here's another thing that's frustrating. My mom watches like Better Call Saul and Game of Thrones, but she has to watch. Oh my God, it is pulling teeth just trying to talk Game of Thrones or like something she's seen.
I have a story about that too.
Yeah.
Like something she's
Trying to like
watched.
discuss it, right?
Yeah.
And I'll bring up like, oh, did you like that part? She's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
My dad's the same
And
way.
in her like, oh, this was my favorite part, was the part I liked. And she's like, what were you watching? I was like, oh, brother.
Yeah, my dad cannot remember character names to save his life. Like I'll bring a character up and be like, "Who?
My mom,
You just watched it."
what I don't get is my mom loves the story, but never remembers anything about the story.
Well, my dad's kind of the opposite because he can remember everything, and I mean, he's all about those old black and white movies, but he does love Game of Thrones, and I got him hooked on the books. He read all 5 books probably in like a month and a half, and if those books are massive, and he blew through them. And this is after I read them, and I was like, oh, finally, I can talk to my dad. We have something we could talk about. And I was like, oh, Dad, what was your favorite part of this movie or of this book? And he's like, I don't know, it was all right. I'm like, it was just all right. It was all right enough for you to blow through these books in a month and a half. You can't discuss any of these plot points with me. It's crazy.
Maybe he doesn't like you.
I'm starting to think it might be, but it's like every time I'm like, oh yeah, who's your favorite character in this at this part? And he's like, oh, I don't know, they're all kind of crappy. I'm just like, why are you reading that? Why are you consuming this media?
I hope your dad's part of like a Game of Thrones book club.
Yeah, me too. I was gonna say you're gonna walk
Like he's on like discussion boards online.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you're gonna walk into your parents' house. Your dad's gonna be having like some deep discussion about Game of Thrones. With
he
someone.
edits the wiki. I'm just like, Dad, please have a conversation with me.
You want to hear a funny story about my dad in reading?
Yeah.
He got mad at me when I asked him to take me to see Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Can we role play it?
Well, he didn't get mad until we were in the theater and it started, and he realized this is all subtitled.
Oh,
Did you know this? Yeah, of course. It's a fucking martial arts movie from fucking.
yeah.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, he's not happy. Hated Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
My dad loves that movie. You know what other movie my dad loves? Kung Fu Hustle.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
My
gonna?
dad, I might have gotten my dad to watch that one.
I'm gonna take my
I didn't
dad.
ever remember it.
That movie is like legit really good. I'm gonna take my dad to see Space Jam 2 when it comes out
Makes sense.
with LeBron. What if they made a Space Jam but like about golf? It was like Space Jam, but it starred Phil Mickelson.
No, and I was gonna say and it starred Michael Jordan.
Well, he's a
He does golf in Space Jam.
That's how he gets sucked into the Looney Tunes
Yeah.
world is when he's golfing. But what if it was like
I forgot about all
Wait, so
that.
who would the Monstars become?
the
Jack
the
Nicklaus?
European President's Cup team? It'd be like
Go to like Jack Nicklaus.
what if they did what if they did golf but like still with a basketball star, like with LeBron like it's supposed to be, but it was all about golf and he didn't
What
know-
if
he was like terrible at
Like
golf.
he's on the basketball court and he gets sucked through the hoop into a
Into a golf
course.
No, what if the all-star team? What if the all-star team was like Happy Gilmore, the main character from Tin Cup? And
Shia LaBeouf's character from The Greatest Game Ever Played.
there it is. Three.
That's three golf movies right there.
3 examples makes a solid goof. We're not expected to come up with any more.
I mean,
good.
Caddyshack.
But they were all
Is that a
notorious.
golf movie?
They were all notoriously terrible except for the kid. That was the
It'd be cool to have like the gopher in the mix.
The gopher would definitely be one of the bad guys, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we saw Venom, so
So that was our discussion.
I took a lot of Venom notes, guys.
I didn't take any notes, but I saw it yesterday, so I think I should be okay.
Oh, famous last words. Robbie and I took a lot of notes. We went and saw the movie together, and then sat through approximately 45 minutes of previews. We got to start going to another theater, guys, or start showing up like half an hour late.
And we only liked 2 of them. Like
Yeah.
Which ones did you guys like?
Spider-Man and Marvel. I mean, those are the ones I liked.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Into the Spider-Verse. Movie looks really good.
Yeah.
So right now, Venom is sitting at like a 38% or something on Rotten Tomatoes.
As the critics score.
Yeah. So it's like, being like skewered in the
Being
in the
panned,
reviews.
but
By the critics, but like the audience score is like 90.
90?
Yeah, last I checked it was 89.
Here, I'm going to check right now.
It was
so is
89
it
last time
90
I
or
checked.
80, Sam or Matt?
It was 89.
What
I think it was
Wow,
89
really?
last time I checked. I was rounding up.
Or I guess I could have been asking you since you're checking it.
It's still loading.
Yeah, it was like 32% critics score, but the audience score is they're loving it.
I get it. I totally get it.
Because it's a messy movie. There's a lot of
Yeah,
holes. It's
29% from critics and 89% from viewers.
That makes
I
total
I
sense.
totally get it.
I get that.
The movie I watched, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a critic would pan it because, I mean, I feel like they have to. Like, what are they going to say? Like, take it in the spirit it's maybe not intended, but that the viewers were going to, like, consume it and,
Yeah.
it's
Because
I get
there's
it.
plot holes. It's messy. The dialogue's pretty weak.
Yeah, let's
but
go-
it's fun.
dialogue.
We've
There
got
is
some dialogue.
almost no dialogue, if you ask me.
We've got some let's just like state right up front, like this movie was technically not great.
No.
But it was fun.
Yeah, I liked it.
Went in expecting, because of the Rotten Tomatoes score and stuff, to like just this is a trash heap, a tire fire of a movie. But
Like, I went in absolutely waiting and ready to hate it.
Yeah,
and
me
to,
too.
like, just shit all over it. And then I was an hour and a half in, and I was like, I haven't reached that. I haven't reached
I don't
like
hate
the
this
outrage yet.
Yeah.
There were only a few moments were like eye rolling moments.
I mean, I rolled my eyes quite a
more-
few times.
I've had more eye rolling moments since. Okay, are we going to pretend like that's not going to be heard? Because we can hear Bear when he's alone over in the fucking office.
and now he's got Buddy all worked up.
But anyway, so
Stand by while I go close those blinds.
it's like I wish it was something we could, know what's going to happen and prepare for.
What were you saying?
I forgot.
I enjoyed it though. I would say I went in with like no expectations, like not bad or good expectations, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I left the movie very happy.
Like I
I felt
said-
I was pleased.
Like I went in like ready, like just ready to fucking hate it, and I didn't. And that's probably the best thing I could say about it. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, it was all Tom Hardy for me that like kept me from like, oh fuck this stupid movie. But
I think I wanted to see like what kind of character Tom Hardy was going to play next, just because he was good in this movie, but his character was so inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like personality wise, was he like a lovable goofball, or was he like a hard hitting investigative journalist?
well, see where it comes in is it depends on what part of the story they're at.
He's a chameleon. There's an opening montage at the beginning of the movie of him doing like investigative journalism, and like from there on, like that's just like supposed to be the basis for his character, right? And then he does a little bit of investigative journalism, and then like gets himself fired.
Yeah. Well, they said that he's an investigative journalist, but he's edgy. Like he goes too far. Like he got kicked out of New York City
Yeah.
for going too far.
But it's just like I don't know. After that, it was like he came off as like a bumbling goofball. How was he like a competent reporter?
Yeah, that's something
You know what I
never
mean?
bought.
Yeah, I never bought that he was a reporter. And then
Since the trailers,
yeah,
I should say. But like I said, I was like, I honestly, I just like his like report, like what he's supposed to be as a reporter. I was like, beep, whatever, just let it go. I was like,
Yeah.
he's Tom Hardy.
I never got hung up on it.
Me neither.
It was just like tonally inconsistent.
Yeah.
In any other movie with any other actor, I probably would have been like, this ruins like the experience. But for some reason, like Tom Hardy, I felt like he wanted it to be a good movie. You know, he really he went all out with
Yeah.
this role. But I don't know. It was his character to me was like super inconsistent. Do you agree?
Yeah. I honestly liked all the characters though. I enjoyed all of them. Even Jenny Slate. Like I just have a really hard time taking her seriously. Like when I see her on screen, it's hard for me. But I think she did a good job in the role that she was given.
Me and Sam.
We looked at each other.
Oh man,
Jenny
the first
Slate-
time we heard her name in the movie.
Hold on. The plot is that the symbiotes arrive on Earth, and what's his face? The villain. I don't know.
Riz Ahmed.
Yeah, what's
Bad
his
guy.
Drake, whatever.
Carlton Drake.
Yeah, he's got him, and then you like know all these names.
I saw it yesterday. I told you.
Good point.
Carlton Drake.
But like, yeah, the symbiotes like escape and stuff, and like they're trying to figure out like how to bond them with people. And
Well, did they edit it to be symbiote?
Yeah.
Or was it always symbiote?
No, they edited
So they did edit it. Okay. Because when the trailer came out, it was symbiote.
yeah, yeah, and I remember that was like a
People lost their freaking minds.
yeah, it was like a
Go
thing.
figure. Go figure. A tiny aspect of a trailer.
But yeah, Jenny Slate is like an assistant in this lab, and
Well, no, she's a head
one of the head
fucking-
scientists.
She's a top dog.
Wow, Mr. Feminist.
Yeah. Can't
What?
imagine a woman scientist being the head
She
of
has
all
to
of
be an
that.
assistant.
look to me that Drake was the head scientist there
What?
and the head philanthropist. He ran the whole thing. I don't fucking know. It wasn't out of sexism. They just never established like.
Look how uncomfortable he's getting.
I'm not comfortable. I'm pissed off because that was a ridiculous thing to get hung up on. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, so she was top dog, and when we first, when me and Salami first heard her name, I turned to him and I was like, "Is
wrote
her last name Girth?"
I wrote it down. I wrote down.
Skirth, right?
Well,
We're getting there.
We're
I wrote
getting
down
there. Because-
Doris, Girth,
Yes.
Doris, Girth.
That's not what it was.
No, it absolutely was not. Matt, let us tell our joke, okay?
Okay, all right, go for it.
Because, like, in the next scene, he pulls out the card that
pulls
she
out a-
gave,
yeah,
and
and,
it
like-
said Doris Girth. And Robbie and I just like looked at each other and started laughing because we
Oh
both
my-
heard Dora Skirt or Dora Girth. Doris Girth.
Girth.
Damn it, Doris. Because she was like speaking quickly, and it came out as like Doris
It came out to
Girth.
Girth to me, and because I turned to Sam and I just like looked, I was like, "Is her last name Girth?"
Yeah. One thing I liked about this movie is that like Eddie Brock is a failure in this movie, right? Like he gets himself fired, he gets his fiance fired, and they break up, and he's like left with nothing before he finds Venom. I like that they're not afraid to like show him as a failure.
I mean, as far as Eddie Brock goes, he has to be a failure, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
Yeah, and I understand that, like, you know, every superhero movie's got that, like, beginning arc where, oh, we feel bad for the main character. But I don't know. Usually where he started is where a lot of superheroes end up as like a reporter or in their final job. He goes back to his reporting job by the end, but still, I liked that character building where he lost his job and all that stuff. I enjoyed that much. That writing, at least the pacing wasn't bad.
Yeah.
See, that is where like the inconsistency of his character like came into play, shown pretty bright. 'Cause it's like, I mean, dude, you did that to yourself, and then like he saw that he did it all himself. Then he like had like a couple scenes where he was like, "Yeah, I did this all to myself," and then he ran into his girlfriend like after the date, and then started blaming it on Carlton Drake, and I was like, "Bro, like, what the fuck is your problem?"
Right.
Which is fine. Like I kind of expect that from him, but it's
But
like
he's still- like,
from the
he-
story, I was like,
Yeah.
"The fuck is your problem?"
Yeah. What he did was deeply unethical.
Yeah.
Like he got
And he totally screwed her over.
Yeah.
Like, hard.
It's crazy to me that like she like even talked to him after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just to rub it in that she moved on.
Yeah. Yeah. But like when he gets attached to Venom, did you like the sequences where he was like adjusting to Venom?
I did. I didn't have a problem with like the puppeteer like scenes where he was just being dragged. I liked it. It was fine, but mainly because of what Tom Hardy was doing.
Yeah.
You know,
when he's escaping from the facility, that was fun. Like when he jumps through the gate, runs through the tree. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was like right after like that crazy horror sequence, right? Where like
yeah, like all the lights are going crazy and the smoke's everywhere.
I liked that bit, right?
I was hoping there would be more symbiotes in this movie. That was my one thing. I mean, there were 2, but I wanted more.
Well, there were 4.
They're 4 at some point.
Boy. We'll get to those.
Yeah. We'll get to the mid-credit sequence too.
Oh fuck. So, what would you guys think of Venom?
I liked it. I thought he was fun. Like all the dialogue between the 2 of them, I really enjoyed.
I liked Venom's design.
The hungry, like when this scene when he goes and when his ex and the guy are having lunch, like he gets into the lobster tank and like eats the lobster, and like he looks at the dude's steak and he's like, "That's dead." I thought all that was goofy, but I liked it.
I didn't care for that scene.
Really?
Me neither.
I liked it.
Too slapsticky for like the tone they were
and
trying
it's
to say.
like at that point we've already seen this motherfucker eat an entire kitchen, and like he knows he could deal with this without fucking going crazy like that. But I mean, actually I didn't like that restaurant scene or sequence.
It was
Now that I'm
supposed to
thinking
be.
back
It was
on
supposed to be like goofy.
It barely gave
I liked
you
it.
anything. It didn't. I mean, what? It just got him hell. It just.
You know
what
what?
What did that serve a purpose for? Just to get him into the fucking EKG machine?
It was just supposed to be goofy and to bring
it
the ex and
established-
the doctor into the movie.
And it established Dan, her new boyfriend, as like the hero of this movie.
He's like the nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
The coolest, most understanding guy. He's all, "Oh, this is your ex-boyfriend? All right, well, I'm just gonna go inside. Just wait for you. You know, take your time."
Right. And then like he shows up at the restaurant, crashes their dinner, and like makes a complete fool of himself. And his first thought is,
Doesn't he choke him?
"Oh, I don't know."
He gets choked at one point in the movie.
Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he picks him up.
Yeah, I think in that scene he
Yeah,
grabs. I think he chokes him.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And then like Dad
Then-
stops them from calling the police and arresting him, and he's like, "This is my patient." And then he
His
said,
his first thought is like, "How can I help this man?" And it's not like, "Fuck this guy for ruining my dinner."
He's a doctor. He took the Hippocratic Oath.
"Yeah,
Yeah, well, still,
to help any asshole who ruins his dinner."
that's the Hippocratic Oath, right? Mm-hmm. I thought so. Here, you want to take a quick break? You guys ready for break time? You ready for break?
This sandwich has been sitting here for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm gonna take a little nap.
Oh, okay. All right. We're going to take a quick break and we'll talk about more Venom when we come back. Welcome back to Good Enough. Matt, how's your cookie?
What cookie?
The one you're eating?
There's nothing in my mouth.
Open up. Johnny.
All right. Well, tell me when you guys are done with this, and I'll be
I
back.
wanted no part in this, so don't put me on this.
We're back, and we're going to talk about Venom some more.
Hey, Matt, how's that cookie?
cookie?
What cookie?
The one you just took a bite of, and there's still some clearly in your mouth.
Why are we doing this thing right now?
Because why do you decide to fucking eat cookies as soon as we start recording?
I surprised him.
But what were we talking about? Venom still? I still want to talk about Venom. I liked his design. My one thing I didn't like about him, well, that they made was like, or that they did with him was like make him a comic relief and like this fucking Cupid who needs to get like Eddie and what's her face back together.
Right. That was my thought too. Like, so the whole time Venom, like, so the symbiotes are there to like destroy the planet, right? Like
eat it, right? Eat the planet.
Eat the planet, and then move on to the next planet. And Venom decides he's gonna like save the planet.
They did that very quickly. Like,
yeah,
Venom
that
had a change of heart
was
very quickly.
super rushed. He's
like he had the whole speech like where like I was a loser on my planet just like you.
right.
Which again was like, what?
The dialogue, it was
What?
like a line and a half of dialogue explains away.
See, what made me really
Venom's
mad?
motivation.
What really made me mad about that was like him, like, oh, you know, like, oh, I love you because I'm a loser too, and we're the same, and blah blah blah. We're perfect for each other. Like, that's dumb.
It's on that losers exist on that planet too.
How are the symbiotes able to survive anywhere?
Well, they take over and host. They take over hosts.
Like, what were they on the comet? Were they just chilling on a comet?
I guess
Like
so.
slithering around?
Just slorshing around.
Slurping.
Just stop. It looks like your brain is in a knot.
I liked Michelle Williams as Venom. I thought that was... I wanted her to get her own symbiote. That's what my biggest gripe. I wanted more symbiotes.
Not of symbiotes. So yeah, it's when is that when he escapes the hospital or when?
Yeah,
because it takes over the dog, and then apparently Michelle Williams, but like.
See when after it took the dog over, that was my biggest like letdown. I told Sam, if this dog doesn't go full on The Mask, like I'm gonna be so pissed off, and I was because the dog didn't even turn into a monster dog or anything. I felt like that was a huge.
I wonder what Venom dog would look like.
But they dropped the ball. I know exactly what it would look like. There's been multiple times where Venom's like gone on animals and stuff, and it looks dope. But anyway,
Drop the ball. Tom Hardy made out with Venom.
Yep.
yeah, full on. They love each other.
Like it wasn't. He didn't make out with Michelle Williams.
For like a couple seconds, it was Venom, and then
I'd say the whole time because
No, 'cause then
like
the
I feel like the spreading over him started with the lips, so then that's just Venom making out with her.
Like that was Venom wanting. Venom's like, I'm gonna make out with that guy.
Totally French this food.
I mean, it's Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna French this cat. All hard in the woods. That's what Venom said. That's what her body language said.
Would you make out with Tom Hardy?
No.
I mean, I probably would. If you asked me to.
I would like hang out with him.
It's like one of those. It's like one of your like defense mechanisms or something. Like if Tom Hardy were coming at you and you thought it was angrily, you just give yourself to him.
That's It's how I deal with threats.
Oh boy.
It's got me into a lot of trouble.
It escalated very quickly. Like it went from that scene to the big fight scene within like 30 seconds.
The third act was so super rushed.
Yeah.
Where Drake became Riot, right?
And became Riot, and Venom was like, "I love this planet." Like aside, like apart from each other, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Did you?
it was.
What do you think about the motorcycle chase scene when?
Oh God. I liked it. The drones were freaking stupid.
There were a lot of drones.
And they just send them out to blow up. Why not put a gun on it? Like
they got a
that's
bomb
probably
on it.
super expensive to make that drone. And they're like probably 20 of them. And they just send them and they blow up.
Guns are heavy.
Well, that last one also had a camera.
That whole scene, I was just mad. And the drones were just blowing up everywhere.
If it was the Fast and Furious, The Rock would have picked up a drone gun.
I think those drones speak to like how rushed this movie was, like how quick they got it into theaters, because like nothing happens in that chase sequence really, you know, like, and it's all CGI. Like, so probably wasn't that hard to film and stuff, or took that long because nothing happened. Like all of the special effects, it's because it was all special effects.
I really like the fight inside the whatever the newspaper place was, or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Like when he fights the whole SWAT team. That fight was really cool. I like with the thermal imaging and seeing Venom jumping around and killing everybody.
I like that.
And then towards the end, was it that scene or the motorcycle chase scene where he ate the guy's head?
That was the end of the motorcycle chase.
And then like he's like, "Hey, you ate that guy's head," and Venom was like,
Yep.
I was hungry.
I'm hungry.
Me hungry. My tum-tum is very hungry."
Yeah.
That was my favorite line of dialogue from this movie when Venom said, "My tum-tum is hungry."
No, you got it wrong. He said our tum-tum.
We are hungry.
The voice was cool. I really liked the voice. It was Tom Hardy, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was Venom. There were some lines of dialogue that were repeated in this movie, and like I felt like they were supposed to be significant. Like I wrote them down. There's one he said
Have
at
a
the
nice
beginning.
life.
Yeah.
So have a nice life was one of them. I wrote that's in
That was
quotes.
said by 3 different people who weren't there for any of them. Who none of them were
the last
there
one
for.
was because it was Tom Hardy saying it to Riz Ahmed. Who was the second one that said it?
Someone else said it to Hardy, didn't he?
Yeah, it was spoken a couple times, and like to like people who what is the significance of some of these lines of dialogue?
Well, I think that one because the last thing that Riz Ahmed says to Tom Hardy's character is "Have a nice life," and then he fires, basically gets him fired, and then as Tom Hardy is killing Riz Ahmed, he says "Have a nice life."
And it's funny because he's gonna die.
And the rest of his life.
Like I get that. It's like oh, you said that to me before you ruined my life.
Okay, well, what about the line? No such thing as can't. There's no such thing as can't. That was said like 3 separate times.
But between two characters. Yeah, it was just between
It was
those. It was
always the
between
same
those
guy.
two
It was always
characters.
the
It was
same
like
security
it was
guard.
like oh, like that's their spiel, their goof.
That's how Tom Hardy gets away with being an asshole.
Yeah,
I know. He's
it was just Tom Hardy and the security guard.
That's a weirdly motivational thing to say to a security guard, like your security guard buddy, unless they like grew up together. In that case, it's not odd.
Well, they seem very friendly with each other because he wouldn't let Venom eat him.
There's no such thing as can't. All right, well, now that you poked holes in my fun goof.
No, well, if you
What was your goof?
yeah, dude, for real, was that supposed to be funny?
I thought you were just
No.
making a statement,
I was making an observation.
and I made a counter observation.
Oh, that's what he's mad about.
How dare you? We didn't talk about the fact that when Venom and Riot were fighting, they got tangled up. Remember that?
Yeah, it was really weird.
Me and Sam stared at each other for a solid 2 minutes, like, what? How are their bodies inside?
I was very confused in that whole scene.
What I said, what I thought was the only thing that could possibly make sense is they're just like stacked on top of each other.
Yeah,
Like shoulder, like feet on shoulders, right? Like
No. Like,
I'm thinking like head
like
to
two
head,
pieces of bread.
head to foot.
Yeah.
And it didn't look any bigger.
No.
Like the Venom Riot combo did not look bigger, but there were 4 entities.
And
all
why did
mixed
they,
up into one.
Yeah.
There are two human bodies in
and
there.
for like a good chunk, like they all decided to work together? Like what's happening with the 2 symbiotes that are
right.
that were fighting that are
I think it was on
fighting?
accident.
Like they were fighting too hard and they just smushed too hard
Because
together.
right before they got together, I really liked that scene when it showed like Riot and Venom fighting, and then it showed Tom Hardy and Riz Ahmed like coming at each other. Like that was a cool visual.
Yeah, it was neat visually.
Riot was really cool. I really liked that character. Like
Riot's clearly just like this is what Carnage will do. Like this is get ready for carnage.
Well,
That's all I saw from Riot. Is like everything Carnage does.
Well, and then when Venom is describing Riot to Tom Hardy, he's like, "Oh, he's got an arsenal of weapons," but like, it's just he makes them, right? Why can't Venom make those weapons? Is that
Not his thing.
That's
I guess.
is that a
yeah.
Because I was just like, what?
But see, okay, that's another
They didn't
thing.
establish those rules.
That's another thing. Like they put forward a lot of stuff that unless you read the comics and know a lot about them, like you're gonna have a hard time like putting shit together. Like
Maybe Riz Ahmed could do that with his hands. So Riot symbiote.
That's why it bonded.
Yeah.
see, I like even with like
So like
the,
Venom's gonna be a really good journalist.
like even with the
He can hold a pencil like nobody's business.
when Venom was saying like he's a loser on this planet, I was like, I mean, only because I've read so many Venom comics and most recently the newer stuff. Like I know that like, okay, yeah, like he was kind of frowned upon for being in his race's eyes like a bleeding heart. Like, bitch, you didn't know that when you wrote this shit. Well, fuck you. Like you're lazy. You're being lazy. Like you're making me work in my head to piece this and make it make sense for me. Fuck you. You didn't know that.
You're right. And then what does a loser on their planet look like?
Yeah, I mean, what does that
On
mean?
symbiote.
On symbiote, I'm gonna call it symbiote 6'9".
Boy, write that down.
Okay, no, I'm not writing it down. Maybe that's how their bodies were configured when Riot and Venom combined into one.
But yeah, so this movie.
Well,
It's better if you don't look back on it.
I'm curious. Like, does Venom have powers? I guess not. Maybe that's why he's a loser.
Like latent powers, probably, maybe. Who knows? Let's see what they'll do in the comics. No,
Yeah.
I mean in the comics
The symbiote just takes on whatever the person
in the
has,
comics the most lethal thing Venom's ever done is create carnage. Like, so like he is technically like the weeniest, and after a symbiote reproduces, it becomes stronger than the last. So technically, Venom is the weakest. But I mean, this movie didn't. I guarantee they didn't like do the. There's no fucking chart in their office of like, you know, like the hierarchy and like how it all works and the transfer of symbiotes.
So how many symbiotes did they have?
4.
There were 4.
I see. Robbie had to explain this to me because I only recall 3.
There was the blue, yellow, Riots, and Venom.
Oh, okay. See,
And the blue one died.
Well, see, there were.
Robbie
like,
had to explain this to me
like
because
Sam had a hard time with this because I think I don't know if you remembered or forgot. Like Riot got out like when the spaceship crashed and they only recovered the 3 and Riot. That's when Riot took over that old lady.
Yeah.
But like it was the one that killed and ended up dying from Jenny Slate. That black guy that had one
Doris
for a long
Girth.
time that ended up dying with the symbiote, and then
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that
And
one.
then the homeless woman that Eddie knew who gave him Venom.
So what was the yellow one?
That was the one that either killed Jenny Slate or was on that black guy.
Okay. The one that killed Jenny Slate was the blue one.
Doris.
I thought the blue one was blue and yellow. I don't know. Maybe that was my color blindness, but
And then, like, they were apparently dead after,
Yes.
like, because they couldn't
Yeah,
bond to the host.
yeah.
But they did such a shitty job of telling us, these symbiotes have been eliminated from the story. Because the rest
Yeah,
of
the
the time...
only line you get is Riz saying, like, how could you watch this higher life form die?
Right, but like for the rest of the movie, I was like, when they get, it's like I was like expecting some Deus Ex Machina moment where these other symbiotes show up, and they never did. It's because they died, and I didn't even know that. I didn't even notice.
You didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that. Absolutely not.
I did not know that. But yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean, what was the need for
Speed.
2 other symbiotes in the story then?
That's what we
They
had.
literally never.
Yeah.
It was
Riot and the Venom symbiotes were the only one who ever did.
Because you had to have the one that died.
well, we need to
one
know
that you
like
see die,
Yeah,
I
what
guess.
happens when they bond incorrectly with a human? But like,
I guess.
they could have done that with just Venom or only one other symbiote.
Or had like Venom dying.
Yes.
And then Eddie gets him or whatever. Like, oh, okay. That would have been enough, I think, for most that like, okay, well, if they're not with someone, they'll die on their own.
Yeah.
But then again, does the meteor count as a life form? Why can't the table it was on count as a life form then? I don't know. I'm thinking too hard.
That's what I'm curious. Like, are they if they have to be bonded with something to live?
Well, they also
That's one of the
didn't
many
establish.
plot holes, Matt.
Well,
Right.
they also didn't establish like why was the symbiote able to bond to Tom Hardy, and why was the symbiote able to bond to?
I think
Drake?
they were always able to bond to this. I talked to the buddy about this, and I didn't think about this. The reason they were able to survive.
Can I just real quick?
No.
You're thinking too hard.
No, the reason they were able
You're
to survive
thinking more.
with the other ones is because they were out there eating people. Like, they were out there eating. The ones that died in the lab were being fed like liquid nutrition. They weren't able to survive on that, so they killed the host, and then they died. The riot was presumably eating people the entire time it made its way from Malaysia to San Francisco. We saw Venom eat people, so like they were eating.
I'll buy
sustenance.
I'll buy that. I also am trying to come to terms with the image of like Riot on the airplane.
As the
Just
little
like a little girl just waiting
Just
patiently.
chilling. That's
Did
a
they-
long flight.
Did
That
they
has to
watch
be a
an
long
in-flight
flight.
movie?
Mid-credit scene.
Oh god. So I mean, going into the movie, you fucking know
Yeah.
Carnage is
Yeah.
gonna be like hinted at.
Well, and I knew that Woody Harrelson was in the movie.
I did not.
And I didn't,
didn't either.
I was waiting for him to show
Well,
up.
that's the thing. I did not know. I didn't know Woody Harrelson was in this movie.
Yeah.
To me, that felt like the big reveal instead of Carnage. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't even reveal Carnage. They just like he said the word Carnage.
I told Sam I was expecting the end credit scene to be Woody Harrelson again saying, "I'm Carnage."
It's me, Carnage now. Yeah, he plays Cletus Cassidy.
He plays, as far as I'm concerned,
Carrot Top?
mannequin wearing a wig.
He
'Cause
plays.
all I saw was that wig.
He plays Carrot Top playing Cletus Cassidy.
This is where I enshrined the June Diane Raphael quote. That's a wiggy wig.
Yeah.
This is where I
It was
enshrined
very
it.
wiggy.
This is where I enshrined it in my notes.
Yeah, you drew a shrine around it.
Yep.
It was incredibly wiggy. I mean, first of all, they've already taken liberties with these comic properties. Why does he need hair at all?
Why does he have to look like a fucking lunatic?
he has hair.
No, I know, but that's what Sam just said.
that's the thing.
They've already taken a bunch of liberties with the comics.
Oh,
Well, that's the
Okay,
thing,
yeah,
because
yeah.
Cletus
Why does he
Cassidy's
have
hair.
to fucking look like a comic book character? Why does he have to look like the only character in the movie
Yeah.
that came straight off a comic book page?
Right.
It's because Cletus Cassidy does have wild, crazy red hair, but like Woody
What?
Harrelson is like well known for being bald.
Yeah, and they never said Cletus Cassidy.
They didn't.
So who the fuck gives a fuck if he has red hair or not?
It was so distracting.
it was.
so distracting.
It was so distracting that it's a joke now. Like it's legit in my eyes a fucking joke if he is in that movie with that hair.
I hope
Because
I think they'll make changes to the hair.
that is the most synthetic thing I've ever seen in my life. Like
yeah, it looked faker than the CGI and
yeah,
like
and it looked brighter than everything in the room. Like maybe it's just like I couldn't get over it, but in my eyes, like it was glowing red. Like
Yeah.
it was the light source in that gel cell.
I think they'll make changes to it for sure.
They have to.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they fucking have to.
Yeah.
I also like. I'm sure Woody Harrelson would make a good Carnage.
I like him in that role.
He's a good actor.
And right
but to me, he's not the ideal Carnage actor. You know what I mean?
Who is?
I don't know. Not him.
It's not a known person.
Yeah, just someone.
It's not. It can't be.
Yeah.
Because
Dude, Woody
say-
Harrelson's
say
like,
it's-
yeah, Woody Harrelson's
say
like he's
it's-
too big of a name.
yeah, say it's like who everyone was throwing around a while back, and it's Jim Carrey. It's gonna be fucking Jim Carrey before it's Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah, it's Woody
gonna
Harrelson
be Woody
before
Harrelson
Carnage.
before it's anybody.
It's like when Paul Giamatti played the Rhino in the
Yeah,
Amazing
I'm like,
Spider-Man.
what the fuck is this midget doing running around in the fucking?
Why Paul Giamatti?
Yeah.
That's so like it almost ruined the end of the movie for me.
It's very distracting.
It was incredibly
Honestly,
distracting.
And then the wig, fine, but then oh, when I get out of here, and I will, there's gonna be carnage.
Oh my god.
That was for the.
Fuck you.
That was for the. They're trying to. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
They're. It was on the nose, yes, but it's for the people who don't know who that is.
Well,
But they're gonna know. I don't know.
I think people
That's not-
people have
Then-
heard of people have heard of Carnage.
yeah. Then like, who don't know who?
I don't think that kid's mom knows who Carnage is.
Yeah,
the kid's
so-
mom who took him there, and like so and so's uncle who's like, oh, fine, I'll take you. Like those people, like I would say a majority aren't gonna recognize Carnage by name.
Yeah, because
Maybe like Sam was saying, like if they showed him a little, like oh, that's the fucking crazy one. That's the crazy red one. But
they should have showed the symbiote.
at
Like
the very least, the symbiote,
at least, like, crawling onto
something
him
crawling
or-
to him. Yeah,
yeah, because the only nod to Carnage was that he said Carnage.
He said Carnage.
They never said Cletus Cat. They didn't say his name. He said, "There's gonna be Carnage," and everyone's like, "Ooh, is that important?"
And that's another thing. I don't know that people that a layman would know that. Oh, this lunatic with red hair. That's Carnage. That's going to be the setup for Carnage. Because if they know Carnage, they don't know Cletus Cassidy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or if you know Venom or Spider-Man at all, you know Carnage.
Yeah.
And so like going into the movie, like I was like, Carnage is going to be hinted at. Like there's no question
have
about
to.
it. And then he just said, "Oh, there's
Carnage.
gonna be Carnage." Also, check my sweet wig. Look at my good wig that I got.
this is where I'll hide
Can
the
you believe?
symbiote.
Can you believe they let me buy this wig? Everybody. Anyways,
I hope Woody Harrelson sees it and is like, that's what you used?
he doesn't know. He didn't. He refused to look in a mirror
Yeah,
before
get
he.
over the wig. That fucking wig.
Yeah, I have faith in Woody Harrelson's acting ability. I just don't see him as Carnage, and that just.
Then I had this question. How does a wig overshadow an Oscar nominee?
All told, though, like Venom wasn't terrible.
No, I liked it.
It wasn't great. It
Right
was.
here, I gave it 2 out of 3 fractions.
What are the three fractions?
I mean, it's not for you to understand. I'm just letting
Okay.
you know how I scored it.
Okay,
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good.
is that good? Is that good?
Just quit it. Quit it.
It's good enough. The titular, the
said it.
titular line.
He said it. He said the name. Yeah, it wasn't garbage.
No.
It wasn't it wasn't great.
I saw a lot
bad
of-
dialogue, inconsistent characterization, but like it was the action
got
scenes were
over
fun.
it.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of like comparisons to like Green Lantern and stuff, and I was like,
No.
I didn't see any of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
in it.
IGN, a guy from IGN wrote an article saying that a good Venom movie already got made this year, and it was called Upgrade. You remember that movie that came out about the guy getting like a chip implanted in his spinal cord? It's basically the same. A guy gets a chip implanted in his spinal cord, and it takes over his body and is able to make him do crazy things. So, like, yeah, it's
wanna see
getting.
that.
Wasn't that movie made years
looks-
ago called Limitless?
It looked really good, and it got an R rating, and it was violent.
Oh yeah, should this movie have been R-rated?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
because a lot of the deaths
don't
could have been more
know. I
violent.
don't know
but
if-
I want Spider-Man in this universe, and it
no.
wouldn't be without
No.
if it was R.
no.
I do.
No, there is
Uh-oh.
no way Spider-Man comes to this universe. The only way Venom gets pulled into theirs is with some fucking universe hopping shit. Like I don't know if Marvel is being real with Sony when they're like, yeah, we'll bring them in, you know, we'll do it. Like it's got to be bullshit. There's no way this Venom ends up in the MCU proper. Like I cannot see any feasible way to connect them in, and where
Because
Marvel would say like, yeah, that's his entry.
Do you think it's too dark, or
No, I don't think I think it's too crap. I think the
I
writing's
disagree.
too garbage. Like the character is all over the place. Like, I mean, they would have to do some major overhauling, but I just can't see them anointing this as an MCU movie. I can't. I can't.
So then, what's the next Spider-Man movie? Like, do you think Venom will be addressed at all in the
No.
MCU Spider-Man movies
Eventually,
eventually? We already know his next movie is called Far From Home.
Mysterio.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
That's right.
And Jared Leto is going to be in a standalone Spider-Man villain movie. He's playing.
See? That Venom will show up in the fucking Silver Sable and like all those weird movies that Sony has planned.
That's right.
What is he playing? It's some like vampire looking dude.
Morbius.
Morbius.
Michael Morbius.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's where Venom will show up. Like they'll have to play in their Sony universe.
remember when the Andrew Garfield movies tried to
bad.
establish the Sinister Six?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing though. Like a Sinister Six movie could be pretty good.
We
Not in Sony's hands.
We already got it in the Spider-Man video game.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
But like not in Sony's hands. I don't know what it is with an animated Spider-Man movie that seems to have them like saying, "Oh, let's make sure this script is like fucking nice and tight," that they can't do with all these other movies they're doing. But like, I don't see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like what they're doing with the Spider-Man verse and Sony.
Yeah, it does have me worried. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, overall, like Venom wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great.
No.
I'm glad I enjoyed it.
I left happy.
Yeah, me too, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I expected to.
That's what I would have to say.
Which is like the highest praise I could probably give this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I expected it to be garbage, and it wasn't. But yeah, I don't know. I recommend it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go watch it. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Better than Ready Player One.
that's every single movie is what you just described right now.
You just described all movies before and after Ready Player One.
So my buddy is a fan of like electronic music, and there's this group that he likes. They just put out a new album, and one of the songs on the album is called "Parzival and Artemis."
Okay, Matt's friend. If you're listening, you have a terrible taste in music.
Well, he doesn't like that song,
Oh, okay. Matt's friend. I take back what I just said.
and he also hated Ready Player One.
Oh,
How do you feel about my friend now?
I mean, I'm sure he's fine. I just
I feel nothing.
You shouldn't have called your friend up. Then you should just talk about the music. All right. Anything else before we close out?
Game Club back next week.
I don't want to. I don't want.
Let's just have like a 4-hour episode and play all 10 of the last chapters.
Oh, can we? I'm gonna go online and read the clips notes.
I was gonna go and just watch the shit on YouTube.
No, we're halfway through the game, guys.
It feels like
We're halfway through.
It feels like we've been playing it for a year.
It does. It really feels like a long time, like the longest I've ever played a game.
Yeah,
We just
and
need
I played Persona for 120 hours.
We just need to get through it, and the interns are talking.
and
about
this feels longer than Persona.
I played Fallout 4 for 3 years. So.
All right, Buddy's going nuts, so we gotta close this up. Thank you for listening. We will be back next week with more Good Enough.
Weeble.
Weeble.